I wrote this poem a few years back. There is content, there is immense gratitude, but right next to it, adjacent to it, there's immense desire. Desire to live more, desire to grow more. For the last decade, as a psychologist and a coach, my goal has been to create growth. But I'll tell you that some of the most profound experiences as a human being that I've had is being with people who are living but are dying within. For the last decade, my goal is to understand what stops people from living, from growing. And by living, I'm not talking about showing up mindlessly and living your life on a daily basis where all that you do is show up wherever you're required. I'm talking about positive growth. I'm talking about life, as we say in positive psychology, a perma life. A life where you experience positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, and a sense of accomplishment regularly in life. A life where there's a conscious effort to create Burma, a conscious effort to create happiness in life, a true journey of inspiring evolution. My job has been to look into people's life who are just existing, to understand why they choose to just exist and to not thrive. Why do they decide to be just okay with everything and not decide to flourish? And what can I, as a psychologist and a coach, do to make sure that this feeling of wanting to thrive and flourish and experience Burma more and more in their life spreads like a virus all over the globe? I found that one major reason why we are okay with being okay is that we have trained a brain to be okay with being okay. We're okay with the fact that most of us are not a master but a slave of our own mind. You know, you allow your mind to take you to the deepest, darkest places in your life whenever it wants. You could be in the middle of an important interview or in an engaging conversation with a loved one, and your brain throws in some random fact or incident that takes you from a mindful present state to an unmindful state. And you know what's the most interesting thing? The most interesting thing is that you let it happen. You flow with it. Some of us even deep dive into it and be in that negative state for days. And some of us enjoy it too. I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't like to get so much attention from your own mind? Who doesn't like to be in a world which starts with an I and ends at an I? Our brain does not understand the difference between reality and imagined reality. When you decide to go with the flow and dive deep into that negative incident, that fight with the spouse, that financial loss, that stress at work, when you relive that experience by entertaining that negative thought, your brain thinks you are actually there right now because of your emotional reaction to that incident that happened years back. It believes that you're there in that incident right now and snatches your present away from you. And you let it happen. You let it happen to yourself. What happens when you give in again and again? What happens when you experience this on a regular basis? You feel withdrawn, you do not communicate, you feel fear, you feel like running away from your own life, which is an automated physiological response to handle stress, but this somewhere becomes your normal state of being. For the last decade, I have seen people who decide to be just okay with being okay, losing all their energies by falling a prey to their own mind. They lose time, their energy, their present. Rather than using their time, energies, and resources to build a vision, to build a thriving life, they live in that negative state. I really want people to get out of this, and I think that is what really attracted me to positive psychology, a field of science that focuses on building well being, on building Burma, so that I can spread this idea of living life, designing life, thriving life. Positive psychology helped me to design a beautiful life for people around me by helping them adopt simple brain hacks to get a positive mindset so that they can focus all their energies on creating a permalicious life for themselves. The one thing that I want you to take away from this small talk is that you have the power to control your brain. You have the power to train your mind. You have the power to experience more and more of Parma in your life. All you need to do is train your mind to get it for you. Happy work.